Hi again. It's still really cold here, and because it's really cold here, I'm sick. Well, we think, um, see, a few weeks ago I was sick with strep throat, and we think now I have mono, but I can't get tested because my mom has mono, so she can't drive me to the hospital, and my dad works 12 hours a day, so he doesn't have a chance to take me. He can take me to this clinic right next to a Chinese restaurant. Just painting a picture there for you, so I don't know what to do. I think it's best to wait until Mom is okay. That's that's the only advice I have for myself at this point. And it sucks. I mean, it's an inconvenience, but I don't feel like my energy is still here. It's just I don't know. It's like that feeling you get when you wake up in the morning and you kind of wish you didn't wake up. You just want to go back to sleep. Yeah, it's kind of like that, except constant. And like the reason this video didn't get out to you yesterday is because yesterday I slept for about 15 hours. I'm not kidding. And I was nauseous earlier, but I got that out of my system. Um, I'm not okay. But my energy's with me, so I can do this video, I guess. I don't really have something to do, so I've just been scrolling through TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. I think we're all kind of like, is anyone still like unironically using TikTok? Is anyone? Anyone? Okay, I'm sure there's some people. But it's funny, isn't it? It's better. It's better than Musically. No, it's better than. I wouldn't say it's better than Vine, but it's better than. See, I don't know. It's funny. It is at least a little bit funny. Um. So, welcome back to the old 62. Today we're talking about Superwoman, Kristen Wells. If we go down to related, at the bottom of the article, it says she's had 5 appearances, but at the bottom of her character block, it says, first appearance, DC Comics Presents Annual Number 2, 1983, and her last appearance was DC Comics Presents Annual Number 4. So that's only 3 comics. And why is number 4 in 85, but number 2 is in 83? Why is there a 2-year gap? I'm just gonna assume like she did stuff in other comics, and that makes up for the 2 appearances that wouldn't be in this line, because DC Comics Presents Annual Number 2, that's 1 comic, then there was number 3, then there was number 4, and that says right here that was her last appearance. That's 3 comics, but the related section at the bottom of the article says 5 appearances. See, That's what I tell you about these guys. If there is like an inconsistency or a lack of information or something's just all around wrong on here, it's not going to get fixed. Nobody cares. That's why we gotta have a voice. Speak up about these characters. Oh, lightheaded. I've been dealing with that since yesterday. And headaches. Just random spells of lightheadedness. Losing my balance. I'm doing that more often. Okay. History. Kristen Wells was a history student from the 29th century who traveled back in time to discover the origin of the universal holiday known as Miracle Day. Miracle Monday. Which I don't know. There's gotta be like a tie-in in the story. Anyways, years later, as a history professor, Wells again traveled back in time to discover the last secret identity of the 20th century, that of the mysterious Superwoman, only to discover that she herself was Superwoman. She made use of common 29th century devices built into her opal amulet and flight belt to commit superheroic feats. After helping Superman defeat would-be world conqueror, King Cosmos, who is another character with a completely blank wiki, like Queen of Speed. Just throwing that out there. Wells returned to the 29th century after she helped Superman. When the people of the 29th century discovered one of their own was the legendary Superwoman, Kristen Wells became an instant celebrity. She was lavished with praise and honors for deeds, most of which she had not yet accomplished. Wells eventually decided she had to return again to the 20th century to fulfill her destiny. If she hadn't committed the acts, then why do the people of her time think she did? See, what would be better writing is if she went back in time and did things and that affected the future. So each time she went back, the future would be different. Like, her time period would be different. They would have a different view of her each time she went back. That would be better writing. But I'm not here to criticize. I'm here to praise. And this is a good character. So there's that. Due to a time machine malfunction, Wells found herself suffering from mild amnesia upon her return to the 20th century, but soon recovered and helped Superman thwart a plot by Lex Luthor. Wells spent several years adventuring in the 20th century as Superwoman alongside Superman and other heroes before returning to her own century for good. Why? Don't know. This kind of, wouldn't that influence, like, other things? Because that's very similar to what happened with, Kara Zor-El. Because, for those of you who don't know, Supergirl, which is Superman's, like, cousin, she was a time traveler, sort of. She got caught up with the Legion of Superheroes, and I think they're doing that like in the CW show. Yeah, they brought Brainiac 5 in, but I don't know if they're bringing like other members of the Legion in. See, I've not watched the Supergirl show. I watched The Flash for a little while. I think I watched it up until Savitar, whenever that was. I stopped watching around the Savitar arc, but yeah. So, anyways, what I was going to say is Supergirl got wrapped up with the Legion of Superheroes, and then at one point she went back to the future with them and stayed there. So, yeah. Sounds like this inspired that. I don't know if I want to get into powers and abilities because this is already a 10-minute video, but, I mean, I guess I could. It wouldn't take much longer, so yeah. Most of Superwoman's powers came from a variety of devices commonly available in the year 2862, and built into her opal amulet. Powers include intangibility, warp portals, gravity manipulation, don't know what that means, maybe that's how she flies, superhuman strength, okay, that's like a side bullet, it's like that's one of the bullets, but it's pushed forward, as opposed to the other ones, so it's like she gets her superhuman strength from her gravity manipulation, is what they're trying to say. Flight, limited intuition. I mean, we all have that. Invulnerability, time warps, empathy. Her emotion sensing power is latent in all humans and common in the 29th century. Okay. Abilities, athletics, and historiography. Historiography? That's a new one. It's a new one on me. I mean, I get the meaning, but it's a new word to me. Weakness. She must fly in a circle to define the edges of any warps she creates. It seems logical. Sure. Paraphernalia. Equipment, opal amulet, and gravity redistribution flight belt. So the gravity manipulation does help with the flying. Okay. Notes, she was erased, so yeah. I couldn't find another version. I couldn't find that she ever came back, so this is not cheating in the slightest. The next point is Superwoman first appeared in The Last Secret Identity. DC Comics presents annual number 2. However, her alter ego, Kristen Wells, appeared earlier in the novel Miracle Monday by Elliot S. Maggin. Oh, okay. That makes sense. And that's it. That is it. So thank you guys for sticking around this long. I don't know why anyone would. I would click away from this. I stutter. My voice is not smooth, like, especially now because I'm sick. But I'm glad that I do have fans. I see now that I do have fans. I really appreciate the things that you guys do. So I hope I'm feeling better soon, so I can get back to being my normal happy self, happy-go-lucky self. Next episode is, it's more of a funny one than anything. But I like this guy. I think if he came back, they could make him serious, and he would be a pretty big threat. He could be. He could be. With the right writing, he could be more than just a little joke, which he was. So, yeah. Bye. Peace out. I'll see you tomorrow.